Hello everybody and welcome back to the Global Granada campaign. I am Count Christo and this is the 2.5 Heresy update. The beta, whatever you want to call it, preview version. We are preparing for an early war against the Christian reconquerors to the north. How dare they claim that title. They never owned this land. It was the Visigoths, entirely different people. Their claim is weak. Our claim is backed by God, and hence it shall succeed. Sufi mystics, eh? Okay, what's this? One of the more unique expressions of faith in Islam was Sufism. Sufis are holy orders of Muslims who regarded Islam as having become too worldly and intellectual, and they opposed the legalistic theology of the ulema. Sufis emphasized a personal relationship with Allah and expressed through music, poetry, dance, strict poverty, and acts of devotion. Cool. Reform Sufis, you get manpower but more unrest. One province gets production efficiency, less manpower, more unrest. Sorry, less unrest. Shrine Sufis seem pretty good. Recruitment time, lower unrest everywhere. I mean, more manpower is pretty valuable. Where is it actually giving it to us? Almara, here. We're only producing mundane urban goods here. What's this? Population. Oh, it's a new modifier. Cool. I like it. Just tells you exactly what the numbers are. That's interesting. So they have 14,000 urban pop, but no urban development. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. The Shrine Sunnis seem to have no downside, and so I'm erring towards them. The lack of unrest seems really nice. And 10% of the population get converted to the state religion. I'm pretty sure we're solidly Muslim down here. No, there's quite a few Catholics still. Oh, we want to get rid of them. So yeah, shrine Sufis, sure. I was looking in between episodes into trade goods, as I always do, and trying to decide which we should produce. And I think silk is the way forwards for us in this campaign. It gives Diplo tech cost down, which is good for building better ships sooner. Excuse me. And it gives you province trade power boosts, and it gives you advisor costs. All of those are lovely, so I think we're going to produce lots of silk. Is our goal. Patronize the Sufis. We can go more secular, more church influence. No, thank you. Do we not have greater nobles? That's exquisite, if so. It is so interesting. Okay, and how privileged are our estates? It's quite a lot. Ooh, the toothless embargoes is a big one. Tax rate down from that's not nice. This one is kind of arguable because yeah, you have to send more wealth to the court, but that extra open production modifier is lovely. It's still bad net. Not very privileged. Oh, got to get rid of that one almost immediately. But not very privileged in the lesser noble department. So that's good to know. So, if we don't have a greater noble, we can't... Sorry, if we don't have greater nobles, does that mean we can't favour a general of merit? Or are they lesser nobles? I can't remember. Let's, to be sure, hire a general of our own. He's not very good. But we should be drilling, really. We can afford it. So, we should be trying to get our army to be the best it could be. I think the autonomy should have calculated properly now. So, maybe we do want to train these extra 2 guys. How much will 2 infantry cost us? 0.5 ducats a month? I think I'm going to get a cavalry and an infantry to get the maximum flanking bonus going here. Children of the Book. Okay, so this is a very important event which will control lots of our interactions with our people. The presence of Christians in our lands presents us with a decision to make. Should we force them to pay tax for being heathens? So, we can make them pay a poll tax, also known as jizya, which is a certain amount of gold per year, which would, we get worse manpower, prestige, and tolerance of Sunni Islam, and missionary strength. But we do get a bonus of tax income and tolerance of heathens. Blood tax, increase our tolerance to this religion, especially minorities, for the lifetime of our ruler. So we can make this choice once per ruler. I do want to declare their religion to be idolatry. We get intolerance, we get more fanaticism. We do get a religious scandal for 2 years. But it's only 2 years. It does go against the teachings of the Quran. So, it's Quran. I know some people say Quran. I think it's Quran. Quran? No, Quran. It doesn't matter. Quran. But I think we are going to declare their religion to be idolatry, sorry. Which means we can now immediately appropriate church property. Fantastic. Just because I like having a higher church influence doesn't mean I'm not going to appropriate church property. Okay. So we don't have any trade ships, which kind of sucks. We might want to build some, especially because they're by far the most effective combat ships to use. We could declare war on Portugal right now. How many men does Portugal have? Because they'd probably get access through Castile. I should just sort my rivals. They have 4,000 as well. They have a lot more manpower though. I was just thinking, because we might be able to just go in and nab a bit of land off Portugal early, while they're still weak and before they get their alliance with Castile. Concessions from the church. Absolutely. We will accept the offer, a smaller offering. Craftsmen abandon their workshops in Malacca. Unsurprising, because there's no center of production here. I don't know really how we managed to get some naval supply production here. They do have... Oh, come on. They have 74 production skill. How fast is it growing? None. Well, I will try and keep... Well... They're producing an incredibly small amount. Let's let them go. We can always go... This, you know, the production skill will stay the same. They should still have 74. Wrong one. Let's just take a look. Oh, no, I can't interact with it anymore. Okay. But I think they still have the same amount. Persia has converted to Sunni. What? Come now. That's ridiculous. You were Zoroastrian. You were meant to remain Zoroastrian. That's a shame. Oh well, doesn't matter. So, in case you're not familiar, to get the exploration idea group, allow us to start getting explorers and start discovering the new world, you need the naval idea group. So the next one we take will be naval. Well, actually, maybe not, because once you get naval, you need to get to a certain diplotech to unlock exploration ideas. And for us, it's 16. So we could take something that's not naval here, then naval, then exploration. And as soon as we've taken exploration, we will abandon naval, almost certainly. Naval does also allow you merchant trade. I'm not a big fan of merchant trade. It's very good in multiplayer, but we'll take another look when it becomes available, but I'm not a huge fan of merchant trade. I think we'll probably want to take something like... I mean, culture is the obvious long-term play. We might want to take a short-term play. We might want to take leadership ideas, for example, for all those extra pips on our generals. Or prophecy ideas for the extra morale of armies, the extra manpower recovery, unrest, missionaries. It's a very good idea group. Obviously, we're going to want scholasticism and state religion at some point to allow us to convert, but that's a slightly more distant goal. Craftsmen free from abroad to Granada. So let's see. I think we will do this, even though I'm reluctant. But let's see how much increases the value of our trade good by. Urban production revenue, 4.13. Let's see on the monthly tick. I think it is the monthly tick when it recalculates. Last time I didn't notice that it recalculated, to my chagrin. Still not showing. Education levels changed to good. We'll need to look into that. Alright, 4.13. I'll try and remember that and we can check later when it actually ticks over. So, court and education spending. That's why we're making so much money, because I wasn't doing any court and education spending. Of course, we will need to do some. Let's start out with a month's value in each and just see where that leaves us. Education is currently rocketing up. Interesting, there's already a fair amount of church contribution. Do we have universities? We actually do, yes. No, we don't. We just have no upper class pops? That can't be right. We must have a university here, right? Yes, we have a local university here, okay. And that's enough to cover all of our upper class pops, because we only have one. Okay. In fact, we could double train, maybe. Sponsor domestic students. We could double train our guys for extra education multiplier. Sure. And I will put in 2 ducats. It's already 2.5 ducats per student. There's loads. Do we want to enforce Sharia law strictly? Sharia law is redundant. I'm going to tell the mod makers this. That is a redundant sentence. Sharia translates to law, so it should just say enforce Sharia strictly. Anyway, want to be fanatic with conservative Sharia law or liberal Sharia law? Less tax, but more stability. Do not like the idea of less national tax and more unrest. We'll go with liberal for now, I think. State law exists only to complement religious law. Or enforce it strictly. Yeah, we'll go with this for now. Happy merchants. Excellent news. Okay. They haven't changed the claim amount, have they? No, it's still 40. So obviously Castile is winning this war, as they normally do. We will grant the deeds to local nobles. Get those stability points rolling in. Okay, we should be getting 2.5. 1.5. I think they've slowed that down. Because we are at force limit and drilling the entire force limit. We're only getting 1.5, where in previous campaigns it was different. Ooh, they've moved things. These are different. Okay, so the conscription army, just check it's the same. At 20% we get conscription, that's the same. That's the same. That's the same. But then 80% and then 90%. That makes a whole lot more sense. Having it at 100% is quite restrictive. It means you can't bounce around at all right at the top. Whereas this will allow us to do that. Very sensible change. Good. Happy about that. Of course, the other big change, which we can't see yet, but once we have a naval force limit of 20, we can get naval doctrines now, which I'm excited about. Our nation's rank in the eyes of the world has changed. Give me a new diplomat. You know you want to. Nah, shame. So, are we making most money by collecting up here? Or should we be transferring to increase our amount of trade income over here? Because every merchant transferring gives you a bonus in the capital, even if they're not transferring to the capital. Let's see. 1.76. Check that's right as well. Granada. Extra trade power. Yes, it is. Cool. 1.76 goes to 1.79. Yep, that is an increase. Lovely. Plus, transferring here is good because it means we're pulling money away from the Aragonese, who are likely to be our foes. So, Trastamara has 6,000 men right now. Interesting. We would have a shot. Saxony is no longer elector because they are under a personal union. Okay, Trastamara is this net sideways one, isn't it? Yeah. So, claim on Mercia time. I'm coming for you, Trastamara. Hold on for 3 years so I can declare war on you. You don't have to win your war, you just have to hold on. Just keep the civil war going. Speed time here up here a little bit. I've been looking forward to this campaign. I've been wanting to play Granada in M&T for a long time. And I think Colonial Islam is going to be interesting. Because I've played a game as Spain. As you know, if you saw my how to remove the blobbing events video, I played a long game as Spain. But I'm looking forward to doing an on-camera colonial game, and I'm also looking forward to trying a colonial game as something other than a Christian. It's going to be quite different, quite interesting. We won't be able to get any Jesuits to help us convert the tribals. The tribals, speaking of the Native Americans, I mean, tribals is a bit generic because the Aztecs aren't tribals, really. The Mesoamericans in general, in fact, aren't really tribals. Fez, it's not your day. Time of need. We could use some help with our military. We should actually, now that I mentioned the military, we should focus... Oh, I didn't check. Oh, it's a 464. Wow. And he's 25. We're definitely going to get rid of you, Hasim. Just so you know. We should focus mill points to try and get ahead of time on military tech to give us an edge. Oh, and there's our claim on Castile. Where should we claim? You can't claim over impassable terrain, can you? No. So this is the only real option here. Because we already have a claim here. Oh, sorry, a core here. What was I saying? Yes, so the way plagues work in the New World has changed. They're no longer a whole different event chain. They work just like plagues. Tunis, how dare you? They just work like plagues do in the Old World. It's just that now you have a innate resistance to plagues over time that builds if you've been exposed to them, and Europe starts with some, and the New World does not. So the plagues we see there are much more likely to be hugely devastating and disastrous affairs for the natives of that continent, which will soon be painted a beautiful green, also known as America. So we could in fact afford to hire an advisor. Manpower recovery speed sounds excellent. Let's do it. He can get us further towards that goal of being ahead of time. On Miltech, handguns is such an incredible increase. 1.5 to 1.75 is a colossal increase. Extra merchant won't help us a great deal. Does it give us anything else? No. But, I mean, is it anywhere in range? Probably not, right? Yeah. Not for now. This is one of the big changes. The Northwest Atlantic is the new name of the English Channel node, and you can't send money from the North Sea to the Northwest Atlantic, which is very sensible from a balance perspective. It doesn't make a great deal of sense that money can't get from Ireland to the Atlantic, or even Norfolk to this trade node, but I can see the reasoning for balance perspectives. The English Channel trade node was ludicrously overpowered before. It might still be. We'll see. We probably will eventually conquer our way up there, but for now, Italy will remain our focus. Well, I say for now, Italy will remain our focus. For now, Iberia is going to be our focus, but after that, probably Italy. It's where all that lovely development, those great universities, and that lovely, lovely trade is at. Castile up to 13,000 men. Not the kind of thing I like to see. Well, we can but hope that we will we'll be able to muster enough men to beat them. Fez looks like isn't going to be a great help to us anytime soon. Tribal disunity. The Blue Horde gets released, right? Yep. Oh, so it's interesting. As a Muslim, we have much expanded vision of the map to begin with, so we can see all the craziness going on in China right from the get-go. We'll be able to watch the Thunderdome play out as well. Be interesting. I think drilling is the right play. Having an army with loads of drill to begin with at the very start of a war with these guys, I think will be exceptionally useful. What I'm hoping for, potentially... Oh, Dev Plague event. The plague has started in Danzig. Nice. So oh, wait, in Danzig? That's new. Interesting. I imagine this name of this will get changed. So that's cool. It tells you where it started, not just that a plague has started. That's excellent. Thank you, M&T developers. You are wonderful. More land flipping sides over here. So what we're really hoping for is that these guys bleed out against each other and then like both go simultaneously bankrupt but don't unify or something like that. Something crazy to let us get some serious land back. It'll be a tough decision when they first ask for the tribute. Do we give it to them once while we finish kind of recovering manpower and stuff, or do we go straight after them? I'm favouring a straight after them approach, I think. We might want to wait for a Miltech advantage. But 10 years is a long time to let them stabilise. If we let Castile get their act together, they will, and they will come at us hard. I feel like we have a big war chest and we should spend it, but that's actually not true. We should let it continue to build so that we're ready for a serious war. We're putting 5 in per year, and it's going up when we have 16 ducats in here. I'm a madman. Decrease it. Let's give them 2 ducats a year. And that'll be solidly at least level 3 court, 30% or above. Should be plenty. Of course, with the burghers taking their extra cut from court production, that's a bit of an issue, but we'll be able to manage. Just please don't let Castile take this province so that I can take it when our truce expires. Policy of tolerance has expired. Do I want to do that again? No, that's tolerance, not that one. Oh, we can't do intolerance right now, apparently. Interesting. Not sure why. A black wind comes. Foreign merchants have bring us rumors they have fled ahead of a plague. Who knows how long we have until the plague will be carried to us by foreign devils. Let's close our centers of trade immediately. Yeah. Oh, good lord. The plague spreads fast these days. I think the trade map mode runs slightly better. It's still framey, but I think it's less framey. That's good. Wow, the plague immediately causes trauma these days. Okay, yeah, it is dying down as it gets towards us, but we do need to try and close the centers of trade. Let's see. Discuss restriction of trade. The compensation is not as ludicrous as it normally is. But a 10% chance? You wouldn't do it to me, game. Thank you. Let's close the ports. A 2.5% chance and a 2 loyalty drop is fine, I think. We want the Diplo points for our final trade idea. Good, still no crisis. And plague doctors. Wow, they're so cheap. You know what? Yeah, let's just wait, you lose manpower? Oh, come on. You're telling me we're going to train 2.5 thousand plague doctors? That's outrageous. All right, well, I'm gonna be a bit gamey here. I apologise for this if you don't like gamey strats. You just won't be overjoyed with this. We don't actually have enough money to do the gamey strat I was planning on doing, so I'm going to demand some money from these guys and then still do it. Okay, so we're only going to lose 400 manpower, but I'm going to do the highest degree of sanitation measures because it's so cheap. 12. That seems like a non-scaled number. I wonder. Anyway, yeah, we're going to do this. And then get these guys back. Cool. So with a bit of luck, that will have weakened it. It can still do nothing. Actually, I think the highest degree of spending, while many die, many also survive. It seems this is not as bad as most plagues. Oh man, I could have told me that before I wasted all this cash on it. That's interesting. So there's different degrees of plague and you get told about them. What an interesting mechanic. That's fun. I like that. Okay. Well, in the next episode, our truce with Trasdamara will come to an end. They've allied France. That's just unfair. God. It's going to be a problem, allied to Aragon and France. Oh dear. Well, we'll see what we can do about that in the next episode. Till then, thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.